Saints are back home and hungry for a statement win as they face off with the division foe, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Spencer Rattler and Chris Olave look to light up the scoreboard, while the New Orleans defense aims to keep Baker Mayfield under pressure all afternoon. Can the black and gold kick off NFC South play with a win? It's Bucs versus Saints, and you know that late kickoff is going to have the dome rocking. Welcome into Game Day Live here on NewOrleansSaints.com alongside former Saints linebacker, 2009 Super Bowl champ, I'm Aaron Summers. The Saints take on the Tampa Bay Bucs. 3:05, a little later one today on Fox, and it is the first NFC South game for the Saints. It's late in the season, and I know our rival is definitely the Falcons, but there has to be some more emotion going into these games because you do see these opponents more often. There's some familiarity between the players. The emotions have to be heightened.
Yeah, it's a little late for a division game. Usually you get these earlier in the years, but I think this is almost kind of the remedy for a team that you're looking for a win. Is it's not hard to get up for a divisional opponent. Obviously, Atlanta is the rival. Tampa Bay has kind of wanted the Saints to always be their rival, and Tampa Bay's had a lot of success last few years. So it's easy to get up for games like this, especially when there's a little bit of smack talk earlier in the game or earlier in the week between Baker Mayfield and the Saints team.
There was, but it was downplayed by everybody in the Saints locker room, at least in front of the media, of course. We never know what's happening behind closed doors. Quarterback Spencer Rattler had a tough game last time out against the Bears. It's something we haven't seen from him in the turnovers. How does he get right in this one?
Yeah, I think last week was a misnomer. Spencer's done a great job all season long. I think you talk to anybody, they've been really impressed with his ability to manage the game, take care of the football until last week. Last week the turnovers popped up, and I think the more you get settled in with a position, the more aggressive you just naturally get. You saw that last week. He took some risks that you didn't see earlier in the year, but I really think Spencer's game, if he can utilize his legs a little bit more, we've seen that going back to the Buffalo game. I really think that's when he makes this offense the most dangerous, is when he kind of takes that ball when the play breaks down.
Looking at this matchup and what the Tampa Bay Bucs do well, they do come in 5-2, but off of a loss, 24-9 against the Detroit Lions, an offense that had been producing 25.5 points per game going into that one, definitely showed some signs of weakness, and the Saints are looking to attack those. One area that the Saints can go after is that run defense. Yes, they are 11th overall in the league in run defense, but last week they got up 164 yards on the ground to the Lions. You mentioned Rattler's ability to scramble. Do you attack that area, or are you leaning into the pass game?
Well, I think there's vulnerabilities in the pass game. They do have a really good safety. Antoine Winfield Jr. is as good as there is in the league, and he's a ball hawk. You have to be extremely dangerous or careful of where he is, because he's dangerous taking the football away. But I think when it comes down to the running game, Tampa Bay has not defended the run well, but if you start breaking up what they have done well in the running game, they're the number one defense in perimeter runs. So they do a good job of containing the football. They're trying to get you to run the ball north and south. And I think if the Saints can do that, Vita Vea was banged up a little bit earlier this week. He was on the injury report. If you can get those guys leaning on the Tampa Bay defense inside, they've given up some yards inside the tackles.
Wide receiver Chris Olave had one of his best games as a Saints player. For the second week in a row, he goes over 95 yards, and he has the first multi-touchdown game. How does he get going in this one?
Well, last week was a great sign. Anytime, this whole year they've been kind of forcing the ball to Chris, getting him involved early in the game. And I don't want to say forced because he is the number one wide receiver on this team, but just to get him going, get him in rhythm in this Kellen Moore offense. And last week was the breakout week, I think, that you saw for Chris, because early in the year he was getting a lot of targets and getting a lot of catches, but it was the run after the catch, or it was a lot of the shorter passes. Last week was a great sign because they were explosive plays, and that's why you draft him 11th overall, is to have those explosive plays in your offense. So if he can continue to do that, and now you have Shaheed on the other side, that just adds another poison to the defenses and what they have to defend.
Coming into this game, Alvin Kamara needs just 2 receptions to become the 4th running back ever in the history of the NFL to have 600 or more career receptions. Does he get them?
Oh, absolutely. I think if there's one team, if you look at, maybe because they play him twice here, I don't know, but it seems like every time Alvin plays the Buccaneers, he has a lot of high production games. I think that could come in the first quarter. And when you look at the names that he's going to be mentioned amongst, Roger Craig, Marshall, all those guys, those are elite running backs, dual purpose backs, the kind of backs that you hate defending because they can run the ball and catch it out of the backfield. Alvin's been outstanding, and I think he'll definitely get that record today, and it'll probably be early.
Looking now at the Saints defense against this Bucs offense, it all starts with MVP candidate Baker Mayfield and what he's able to do, not only through the air, but with his feet as well. what can the Saints do to try to limit his effectiveness?
Yeah, Baker's been, rightfully so, mentioned amongst the MVP candidates in the NFL. He's been outstanding for the Bucs. They signed him to a one-year deal a couple years ago, and he proved that he could be a franchise quarterback. I think when you look at him, when he's knocked down, all his teammates run over to pick him up. He is the leader of that team, and this team goes as he goes. And he's one of those guys that if you let him break contain, he will make plays outside the pocket. He's another player that likes it best when the play kind of breaks down and he can play backyard football. So you have to contain Baker. He's got really good legs and he can throw well on the run.
The Bucs come into this game without wide receiver Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, two of their veteran receivers there that have had a lot of production for them. The younger players have been stepping up, but where is their opportunity maybe for the Saints secondary to take advantage of that?
Well, yeah, I like the matchups, especially with, it's unfortunate Mike Evans gets hurt. You don't like to see players get hurt, but Mike Evans getting hurt is going to make life a lot harder on Baker Mayfield, because now teams can double team wide receivers. They can take him away. Cade Otton is a really good tight end, and we'll be interested to see how much he works the middle part of the defense with the Saints. A lot of zone, so it's going to be a lot of openings underneath. So Cade Otton at tight end is a big guy you got to watch for today, but I just think the missing Mike Evans in this offense changes the whole dynamic of their offense. They're going to have to run the ball more, and their life's going to get a little bit harder for Baker.
The Bucs are 4-2 when Mike Evans is available with Baker Mayfield as the quarterback. So yes, more success for them. Moving to special teams, we have had some struggles in that area, but the Bucs have been up and down as well. They had a field goal blocked, returned for a touchdown earlier this year against the Jets. They've had multiple punts blocked, but on the other side of it, their kicker, Chase McLaughlin, has hit a 65-yard field goal. So there are opportunities where the Saints can make some plays on special teams, and I think that's going to be a huge factor in winning this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it one bit when this thing's all said and done. You can look at the third phase of the game. The special teams is always the forgotten phase amongst fans and everyone. But I think when you are done with games like this, there's a lot of even matchups offensively and defensively. It's going to be what special teams plays better and gets field position. Field position is a huge part of the game. 100 yards of hidden yardage is equal to 7 points. That was the Bill Parcells, Sean Payton thing that we were always preached to. So special teams is going to play a big part in this game. You get field goals, you got to take them when you can get them and hit the field goals. Return game is going to be big, and stealing a possession. You haven't really seen the Saints fake a field goal, fake a punt. I think putting Taysom at personal protector on punt team, he can fake it. I think that's how you steal a possession and keep your offense on the field and keep the defense off the field.
All right, well, Scott Shanley is asking for some trickery on the special teams side of things. Earlier this week, I was able to catch up with head coach Kellen Moore, break down this matchup against the Bucs. Here you go.
It's the first division game, finally, week 8. How excited are you just to be able to see what a rivalry is like in the NFC South?
It'll be awesome. Rivalry games, division games, you play these guys a couple times each year at least, and so it'll be a lot of fun, and so we're excited about this one.
Quarterback Spencer Rattler had a down game this past week, but as a former quarterback yourself, what's the focus got to be for him? What are you telling him to bounce back?
Yeah, great opportunity to respond. You turn the ball over a few times. We can't lose our stinger though, so we got to protect the football, but we got to play aggressive football at the same time, and so I think he'll respond really well.
With Eric McCoy out at center, a huge leader there on the offensive line, what's the focus have to be for those guys to be able to go up against this Bucs front and have some success?
Yeah, it's going to be a physical battle. They're really talented up front. The communication is going to be a big part of this. It's going to take all 5. They all have to communicate at a really high level. Luke will do a great job inside, but it's going to take all 5 of them doing it together.
When you look at the run game, Kendre Miller also out. How do you establish that run game alongside Alvin Kamara, and with who?
Yeah. Obviously, we got a couple other guys that'll be a part of this thing, and Devin's ready to roll, and he's prepared himself to be in this situation, so we're excited for him as well.
Well, we definitely know he's ready to block, right? Protect quarterback right there.
Yes, he's taking care of the blocking part of it all right.
Defensively, you have a young secondary, but the Bucs are depleted in the wide receiver room. Mike Evans going down. What do you like about your guys?
Yeah, every week's a new battle, new challenge. I feel like our guys are taking steps each and every week. Last week I thought there was a lot of positives coming out of that with that group. Confidence should be growing, and so I'm excited to see them go out there again.
Baker Mayfield, one of those quarterbacks that can kind of do it all. He's a dual threat. What would you like to take away from his game?
Yeah, well, obviously the big play is always in sight for him, and so his ability to utilize his legs, create plays off schedule downfield. We got to do a good job of plastering right there, playing the coverage on the back end and getting to him, and so we don't give up those big plays in the off schedule stuff.
That line, got to get to him. How do you apply some more pressure?
Yeah, we just got to keep working at it. Obviously, there's an individual standpoint, there's a schematic standpoint. Our guys are battling, and so we got to find a way to get to him.
All right, Hall of Fame stuff came out. Drew Brees eligible for the first time. He's a lock, but how do we get Jari in there, right? Like, we got to get Coach Jari Evans in for 2026.
I'm all for it. Every single Drew Brees highlight, just look at who's right in front of him taking care of business. So, we got 2 special ones on this program.
There you go. That's the way to start the campaign right there. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate Kellen Moore and the time he gives us to break down things ahead of this game against the Bucs. Now we are welcomed by 2-time Pro Bowler LaCharles Bentley. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
How good is it to be able to come back? Because it's been a while.
It has been a while. This is my first game back as an official fan, so it's been a very long time, but it's been a great experience. It's a beautiful facility now. It's a lot different than what it used to be, but it's still New Orleans, and it's still a special place to me.
Yeah.
I know you played with the Buckeyes. Hall of Famer, Ohio State Hall of Famer
Yes,
with
sir.
the Buckeyes.
Yes,
so you
sir.
follow the Buckeyes still close. We've had a lot of Buckeyes in and out of this building over the years, so you still follow the Buckeyes, I'm sure.
It's hard not to follow the number 1 team in the country.
There it is.
I hate to correct you, it's the Ohio State
The Ohio
University.
State, yeah, okay.
But it's certainly a special place, again, to have another great season. Hopefully they can keep it going. Ryan Day's done a tremendous job taking over the program, and I'm just excited to see what happens at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun watching players like Chris Olave here. You know, we have a lot of them, and I know you guys come from a good breed of football up there. What have you thought about the Saints this season and what they're building?
It's been a unique season. Obviously, with the coaching change, there's a lot of figuring things out. But I would say this, with any great organization, you got 2 key pillars. You're going to have a great quarterback and a great left tackle. And I think as of right now, what we're seeing is a burgeoning young quarterback in Spencer Rattler that really has a chance to be special, in my opinion. Kelvin Banks, left tackle, first-round pick. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do at that slot. But beyond that, I didn't think that he was going to play at the level he's playing at as of right now for a rookie. So when you look at those 2 things, I just feel that those cornerstones, you have them in place now. Getting everybody on the same page and figuring out who the club is going to be internally in terms of the culture, the schematic fit. You got something special brewing.
Yeah, you really hit on the offensive line over the last couple of years, investing in that area with Taliese Fuaga, who's now over at right tackle.
Right.
Trevor Penning looks like he's found a good home at left guard. However, today, Eric McCoy is going to be out at center. How much of an impact is that?
That's this guy's home. He knows what it means to play center. Yeah.
So it's Eric, in my opinion, again, he's been the team MVP.
Yes.
Outside of being just a captain, it's his leadership, it's his presence, it's his intellect, it's his ability to play the game at a very high level. Not having that in the lineup this week and likely the rest of the season, obviously, it hurts. Now, is that a bad thing per se, considering where the club is currently at? We're trying to get some things back on track. So you get a chance to look at some young guys. Maybe Torres Sully Simpkins gets an opportunity to play again. You got Luke Fortner who's going to fill in this week and see how that goes. So at least now you're starting to getting some depth as you start looking plan towards next season.
Yeah.
And I think the Luke Fortner trade, at the time, I loved it. You're trading a backup D tackle to Jacksonville for a guy to add depth on the interior offensive line. Eric had an injury last year early in the year. So now you're going to get a chance to see Luke Fortner, who started 34 games in the NFL at center. How often do you get to replace a guy that's had that much experience? So that'll be a huge thing. What do you see when you watch the Saints offensive line? It's a lot of young players and development. We had Willie Rope on here a few weeks ago, and I asked him if you could give advice to young guys coming in the league, young offensive linemen, what is the best way for them to adapt from college football to the NFL and the things they face on a Sunday versus a Saturday?
Realize how not good you are not.
That's true.
I think that is the easiest thing to do, is to just approach this game with a level of respect and humility. And I believe that's a challenge for many of us. We've done it.
Yeah.
You want to be an alpha. Everyone wants to be an alpha. That's what allows you to get to where you are in your career. But at the same time, everyone on this field at one point in time, they were the best players in high school. They're the best players in their colleges. Just being humble enough to acknowledge that I don't know it all, and being willing and open to grow as a young player.
Being coachable. That's the most important thing, and it's hard.
We have a lot of young players on this team right now that are getting valuable experience, getting thrown into the fire. Alvin Kamara, Devin Neal, your only 2 active running backs today. What can the line do here to help them be productive and have success?
Well, with obviously a guy like Vita Vea in the middle, who it appears he's going to play, Luke has his hands full. Let's just, cut right to the chase. And it is what it is. The offensive line is going to have to manage Vita Vea in the middle. If you can't manage that load in the middle, they're going to have problems. So with that all being wrapped up in a nice bow, the interior three, they have to show up this week.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I agree with you 100%. You look at the Tampa Bay run defense, they're number one in perimeter run defense. So they know we're going to funnel everything back to the big boy in the middle. And if he's 100%, it changes the game. I don't think he is. He was on the injury report this week. And I still think the Saints can commit to that run game, 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust, get into third and manageable, and allow Spencer to be in that short third down passing game instead of 3rd and 7+. That's the key.
I love that Ohio State reference, by the way. That's Woody Hayes. 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
There you go.
All right, before we let you get out of here and go enjoy the game, it is the 50th anniversary of the Superdome. What are some of your memories, best times you had here?
Oh, the best times I've had here is when we were winning games. And through my experience here, my time in New Orleans, it wasn't very often. However, being able to wear this uniform and being in a city like New Orleans, it was a special time in my life. And to be able to have an opportunity to bring my family back and be a part of this today as the legend of the game, obviously being here with you all as well, it just brings back a lot of memories. And there's nothing in my life that I would trade to do over other than, be a Buckeye maybe. But outside of that, my time in New Orleans is certainly special.
Well, it's been awesome having you here with us, and I mean, we're happy to have you back anytime.
I appreciate it.
You do your homework. I appreciate
Thank
that. So thanks for breaking things down for us.
Thank you.
One of the younger players that is getting a lot of run is Quincy Riley, cornerback, and I was able to catch up with him in this week's segment of What's Brewing. Alongside cornerback Quincy Riley, I'm Aaron Summers. Quincy, you got your first NFL career interception in this past game. Take me through that moment.
It was a big moment for me, just understanding like I'm really in the NFL right now, and I made a big play at a big time in the game. I mean, but for my first pick, I wish I would have got the win behind it too, though. So that's the most important thing. But overall, I was happy. It felt good. My teammates was excited, coach was excited, so it just made me feel like I'm just more closer to the team than I thought.
Watching you were holding on to that ball. I mean, where is it now?
The equipment people got it right now. I think they painting it right now. They put first career pick XYZ on there. So yeah, I wouldn't lie because my first fumble, my first turnover against Seahawks, they let that one get away from me. So I'm still trying to hit up the Seahawks, asking for the ball back and stuff like that. So that one I wasn't letting go.
Definitely not. You definitely are gonna get that one. That's awesome. How would you describe yourself as a player?
A confident, brave, totally competitor, a passionate guy about football, a enjoyable guy, a great teammate, ball hawk, ball skills, and just shut down corner.
When you joined the team first season in the NFL, what's something that surprised you as a rookie?
What's something that surprised me? Just playing with like real older guys, like people that you watch on TV or like YouTube and stuff, like they in the same locker room as you now. They actually communicating with you, like y'all on the same side of the ball. So that's probably the most thing that really surprised me. Like, okay, this is like NFL, like this is what I was looking at all along.
Did it make you feel like you made it? Like you're alongside people you watched growing up?
It gave me a sense like, okay, I'm here now, but not yet, just made it yet. So making it like being in the league a couple more years. Okay, I'm in the league, but it gave me a relief. Like, okay, like I'm doing something good. Let me just keep doing what I've been doing to get here.
I asked you to describe yourself as a player, but what about describe your style? Because you've been throwing some fits pregame.
So ultimately, when I first went to college, that was my major, fashion and design. So it's textile and design. So that's why I wanted to be like, if sports didn't work out, I wanted to be in the fashion industry. So now that I'm on this stage, I can display like me as a person through my outfits and stuff like that. So I think it's a great thing to do. Then like the tunnel fit thing, pictures, that's a big thing. So I feel like I can express it more doing that.
What do you like? Fashion, anything else outside of football? What do you do?
I really like just relaxing. Like music is like therapy to me. So just listening to music over and over throughout the days. Sitting outside, just making me feel like, okay, I'm on earth right now. So just things like that. I don't really get into too much other stuff. If off season, I like to play basketball too, but not during season.
With the next game coming up, it's the Bucs first division game. What are you looking forward to about that? Kind of getting to experience a rivalry. Just hearing about it is like, okay, like the season haven't been going where we want it to go, but this win can make the season go XYZ the other way. So just taking this week just to get a win under our belt, get another win under our belt, and knowing that it's a divisional win, it's possible that we can still win our division. So
I just want to take it week by week and just get one win here, then next week one win, and just keep going on building like that.
All right. Well, this has been What's Brewing with Quincy Riley. We're looking for that win against the Bucs on Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been presented by Community Coffee.
The Saints play their first division game of the season Sunday at Caesars Superdome against the Buccaneers. Let's take a look at the recipe for success for that game. It begins with resiliency. The Saints coming off a tough loss to Chicago last week, and then they find out that they lost Eric McCoy and Kendre Miller for the season to injuries. So replacements will have to contribute now. That could be any one of three players at center and rookie running back Devin Neal in the backfield, but everyone will have to step it up if the Saints are going to get their second win of the season against the division leaders. And at a time like this, it's great to have a franchise stalwart like Alvin Kamara. He'll be counted on not only to make plays, but to help keep things steady on offense. The second ingredient will be finding a balance between continuing to open up the offense and not turning the ball over. Saints had 4 giveaways against the Bears, 3 interceptions, and a fumble. Kellen Moore says Spencer Rattler has to learn from those mistakes, but one thing he can't do is to let those mistakes keep him from pushing the ball down the field when he has opportunities to deliver big plays. Rattler was at his best on 2 long touchdown drives, both ending in scoring tosses to Chris Olave. That's something to build on when he gets opportunities against Tampa Bay on Sunday. And finally, the defense had been solid against the run, but that changed in Chicago. The Bears ran for 222 yards, piling up 5.6 yards per carry last week. The Buccaneers certainly saw that tape, and you can expect them to try to test the Saints' run defense. But their running backs are banged up, and so are their wide receivers. Baker Mayfield has kept Tampa Bay afloat with MVP-level play, but the Saints can't make things easier for him by giving him a productive run game on Sunday.
Appreciate Stan and your recipe for success. We're going to throw a couple more ingredients in there, though, and I'm going with the turnover battle. The Saints have to win the turnover battle. It's what got them in the last game against the Bears, and the Bucs are +4 in that turnover margin, so you don't want that number to get any better today.
Yeah, and that's Todd Bowles has always been great defensive head coach, defense coordinator for Tampa Bay. They've always taken the ball away well, and like I said, the guy you need to watch for is Antoine Winfield. He is one of the best safeties in the league. You can't just throw the ball; he'll make you pay for it. But I think my recipe for success today is I want to see the Saints team get out to a lead and be able to run the ball on somebody. Not have to throw the ball 40 times to get back in the game. I want to see the Alvin Kamara show, Neal's show with Hill playing maybe some running back. I want to see the Saints be able to lean on somebody for 4 quarters, run the football, keep your defense off the field, because we haven't really seen a game like that yet.
In the interview with Coach Moore, I mentioned the fact that Neal can clearly protect because we saw him lay a huge block in the last game, and Coach said that, yeah, he is definitely going to get a lot more run, and he showed that ability in college at Kansas. All-time leading rusher, and he can get in on the receiving game as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in college, he was one of the most productive football players in Kansas Jayhawk history. So he had a lot of snaps in college, highly productive player, and I think the play you're talking about last week where he came across Spencer and cleaned up that blind side, every quarterback will appreciate a running back who's willing to put his body on line so his quarterback doesn't get hit. So pass protection, it's a little thing, but it's a big thing, and it's usually one of the last things that young guys can pick up, knowing who to block, which way the line's going, and being able to sit in there and take that brunt force from a blitzing guy. So he shows wisdom beyond his years, and that's why they drafted him in the 6th round. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time.
Well, the reason why he's going to be getting some more playing time as we take a look at the inactives here. Coming into this week, running back Kendre Miller, it was announced that he did tear that ACL. He's out for the season. Center Eric McCoy also out for the season as well. That definitely puts a lot of stress on the offensive line and what they're going to need to do today to have success, creating opportunities in the run game and then protecting Spencer Rattler. The rest of the players, though, that were inactive going into this one, they're all healthy scratches. Yeah. So the Saints, other than that, are looking really good going into this game.
Yeah, and it's a great sign because you just think about the past 2 or 3 years. This team has usually been banged up a lot by now. So to have this health on the team, I think it speaks volumes about the strength and conditioning, the way they're practicing, doing those things right, taking care of their bodies. But it's good to have your team this healthy at this point in the season because there's not a lot of teams that can say that.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs can't say it. They're going to be without some some huge pieces with running back Bucky Irving, wide receiver Chris Godwin. We mentioned Mike Evans, and then linebacker Hassan Reddick. So there is opportunity for the Saints to come out and maybe surprise some people today.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. We talked about special teams earlier. Special teams, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down to a field goal in the fourth quarter. Every point's going to matter. Take the points when you can get it. But those players you mentioned, Hassan Reddick is a highly productive pass rusher. You don't have to worry about him. Mike Evans, we know what he's meant to this league. Bucky Irving's been one of the best backs in the league. So three very productive players for the Bucs who are out. You have to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for the pregame show right here on NewOrleansSaints.com. For LaCharles Bentley, Scott Shanley, I'm Erin Summers. We are looking forward to this one, and we want to say a big thank you to everybody who has served the country for us, as it is our Salute to Service game. You'll be seeing stuff about that all game long, and we'll catch you right here on NewOrleansSaints.com across all social media platforms after the game to break down what we're hoping is a Saints NFC South victory over the Bucs. Thanks for watching, and go Saints.